The morning sun rose gently over the castle of Enchantia, and everything looked bright and peaceful. Sofia opened her eyes with a smile because she was excited about the day ahead. She jumped out of bed quickly, just like she always did, and started getting ready. Today was supposed to be a fun day. Amber had planned to practice dancing, Clover wanted to explore the garden, and Sofia felt happy just thinking about it. After breakfast, Sofia walked into the garden with Amber and Clover. The flowers were colorful and the air felt fresh. At first, Sofia laughed and talked like usual, but after a short while, something felt different. Her steps slowed, and her smile faded a little. She stopped walking and held her head. "Do you feel okay, Sofia?" Amber asked, noticing the change. Sofia nodded, but her voice sounded unsure when she said, "I think so. I just feel a little tired." Clover tilted his head. "Tired already? That's not like you," he said. Sofia tried to laugh, but it didn't come out right. She felt heavy, as if her body didn't want to move. She sat down on a bench and took a deep breath. The garden still looked beautiful, but Sofia didn't feel the joy she usually felt. "Maybe I didn't sleep well," she said softly. They tried to continue playing, but Sofia couldn't keep up. Her legs felt weak, and a strange warmth spread through her body. The sun felt too bright, and the sounds around her felt too loud. She closed her eyes for a moment, and when she opened them, everything felt slightly blurry. "Amber," she whispered, "I feel dizzy." Amber's smile disappeared. She helped Sofia stand up slowly. "We should take you inside," she said quickly. Clover hopped in front of them, worried. "I'll go call for help," he said and ran ahead. Inside the castle, Sofia felt worse. Her body felt very warm and her head hurt. She leaned against the wall, breathing slowly. Queen Miranda rushed to her side as soon as she saw her. "Sofia, my dear, what's wrong?" she asked gently. Sofia tried to answer, but her voice was weak. "I don't feel well," she said. "I feel very tired and hot." Queen Miranda touched Sofia's forehead and pulled her hand back with concern. "You have a fever," she said softly. King Roland quickly called for the royal doctor. Sofia was carried to her bed, wrapped in soft blankets. Her body shook slightly, and her heart beat fast. She felt scared. She had never felt this strange before. As the hours passed, Sofia's fever grew stronger. Her body ached, and even lifting her head felt tiring. The room felt quiet, but her thoughts were loud. "Why do I feel like this?" she whispered to herself. Amber sat beside her, holding her hand. "You're not alone," Amber said softly. "We're right here." Sofia tried to sleep, but the fever made her restless. She dreamed strange dreams and woke up feeling confused. Sometimes she felt too hot, sometimes too cold. She heard voices around her, her parents, Amber, Clover, but everything felt far away. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I'm scared," she whispered. Queen Miranda wiped her tears gently. "I know, sweetheart," she said. "But we're taking care of you. The doctor is coming." Sofia nodded weakly, trusting her mother's voice even though she didn't understand what was happening. When the royal doctor finally arrived, he checked Sofia carefully. He spoke calmly with Queen Miranda and King Roland. Sofia couldn't hear everything he said, but she saw the serious look on their faces. That scared her more. "Am I going to be okay?" Sofia asked quietly, her voice shaking. The doctor smiled kindly at her. "You are very brave," he said. "You are sick, but we will help you get better." Sofia tried to believe him, but her body felt so weak. She held her blanket tightly and closed her eyes again. As night fell, the castle grew quiet. Sofia lay in bed, her forehead warm and her breathing slow. Clover sat near her pillow, unusually silent. Amber hadn't left her side once. Sofia opened her eyes slowly and whispered, "I want to feel better. I want to play again." "You will," Amber said softly. "Just rest." But deep inside, Sofia felt afraid. She didn't understand why her body felt like this. She didn't know how long it would last or what would happen next. The fever made her feel small and helpless, and that scared her more than anything. As the moonlight shone through the window, Sofia drifted into an uneasy sleep, her body warm with fever and her heart full of questions. Something serious was happening, and her journey was only beginning. The next morning came slowly inside the castle, but for Sofia, it felt like the night had never really ended. She opened her eyes with great effort. Her body felt heavy, as if a large stone was pressing her down into the bed. Her head ached and her mouth felt dry. When she tried to sit up, a wave of dizziness washed over her, and she had to lie back down again. Queen Miranda was already there, sitting quietly beside her. She noticed Sofia's small movement and leaned closer. "Good morning, my dear," she said gently, even though she knew it was not really a good morning for Sofia. Sofia tried to smile, but her lips trembled. "Mama, I still feel very bad," she whispered. Queen Miranda touched Sofia's forehead again. It was still very warm. "I know, sweetheart," she replied softly. "The doctor will come again soon. Right now, you must rest." Sofia nodded, but inside she felt frustrated. She hated feeling weak. She hated not being able to get out of bed. Amber quietly entered the room, carrying a glass of water. She looked worried but tried not to show it. "Sofia, try to drink a little," Amber said, helping her lift the glass. Sofia took a few small sips. Even that small action made her tired. Her hands shook slightly, and Amber helped place the glass back on the table. "I feel so strange," Sofia said slowly. "My body hurts and my stomach feels upset." Queen Miranda exchanged a concerned look with Amber. These were not good signs. Clover also sat nearby, his ears drooping. "I wish I could make you better," he said sadly. Soon, the royal doctor returned. He examined Sofia carefully, checking her temperature, listening to her heartbeat, and asking gentle questions. Sofia answered softly, her voice weak. After a long moment, the doctor stood and spoke quietly with Queen Miranda and King Roland near the window. Sofia couldn't hear everything, but she saw their faces grow more serious. Her heart began to beat faster. "Mama," she called weakly. Queen Miranda rushed back to her side. "What is it?" Sofia asked, fear in her eyes. "Why do you all look so worried?" Queen Miranda took her hand and squeezed it gently. "Sofia," she said calmly, "the doctor believes you have typhoid. It is a serious illness, but many people recover with proper care." Sofia had never heard that word before. "Typhoid," she repeated slowly. "Is it very bad?" The doctor stepped closer and smiled kindly at her. "It means your body is fighting a strong sickness," he explained in simple words. "You will feel weak for some time and you must rest. You will need medicines, clean food, and lots of care." Sofia swallowed hard. The word, "sometime," scared her. "Will I be okay?" she asked quietly. "With patience and care, yes," the doctor answered honestly. "But you must be brave." Sofia nodded slowly, though tears filled her eyes. She felt scared, but she also felt surrounded by love. That gave her a little strength. As the day went on, Sofia's symptoms became stronger. Her fever rose and fell, making her feel hot one moment and cold the next. She felt pain in her body, and sometimes her stomach hurt so much that she curled up under the blanket. Queen Miranda stayed by her side, wiping her forehead and helping her drink water. Amber tried to read Sofia her favorite story, hoping it would distract her, but Sofia couldn't focus. The words felt far away. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I can't listen." Amber held back tears. "Don't say sorry," she said gently. "Just rest. That's all you need to do." Later that afternoon, Sofia became very tired. Her eyes closed even while people were talking. She drifted in and out of sleep, sometimes mumbling softly. In her dreams, she tried to run and play, but her legs wouldn't move. Each time she woke up, she felt more exhausted. King Roland came in quietly and sat beside her bed. He took her small hand in his large one. "You are very strong, Sofia," he said gently. Sofia looked at him weakly. "I don't feel strong," she replied. "I feel very small." King Roland smiled softly. "Strength isn't always about running or standing," he said. "Sometimes strength means resting and letting others help you." That night, Sofia's fever climbed higher again. The doctor gave her medicine and reminded everyone that recovery would take time. The castle felt quieter than ever. No laughing, no music, only soft footsteps and worried whispers. Sofia lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Her body ached and her thoughts felt heavy. "What if I don't get better?" she whispered to Clover, who sat close beside her. Clover hopped a little closer. "You will," he said firmly. "You're Sofia. You always find a way." Sofia closed her eyes, holding on to those words. She didn't know how long this sickness would last, only that the battle had just begun. Her journey through typhoid was now clear, and it would test her patience, her courage, and her heart in ways she had never known before. The days that followed felt slow and heavy for Sofia, as if time itself had decided to move carefully around her. She woke up late in the morning, and even opening her eyes felt difficult. The sunlight coming through the window was soft, but it still hurt her head. Her whole body felt sore, and she barely had the strength to turn on her side. Queen Miranda was already there, just like every day. She smiled gently when Sofia opened her eyes. "Good morning, my brave girl," she said. Sofia wanted to reply with the same warmth, but her voice came out as a weak whisper. "Good morning, Mama." Even speaking made her tired. Sofia noticed that her room had changed. There were bowls of soup on the table, bottles of medicine, and fresh water nearby. Everything was clean and quiet. It made her realize how serious her illness was. "How long have I been sick?" she asked slowly. Queen Miranda brushed Sofia's hair back gently. "Several days," she answered honestly. Sofia frowned. It felt like only one long, confusing day to her. Soon the doctor arrived again. He checked Sofia carefully, his face calm but focused. "The fever is still strong," he said to the Queen and King Roland. "This sickness needs patience. Some days will feel harder than others." Sofia listened quietly, fear tightening in her chest. She didn't like the sound of harder days. As the day passed, Sofia felt waves of weakness roll through her body. Sometimes she felt a little better, and she hoped the sickness was leaving. But then suddenly her head would ache again, or her stomach would hurt badly. She felt helpless. Being active, brave, and helpful was part of who she was, and now she couldn't do any of those things. Amber came to visit, sitting on a chair close to the bed. She looked tired too. "Everyone misses you," Amber said softly. "The castle feels empty without you running around." Sofia tried to smile, but tears filled her eyes. "I miss it too," she whispered. "I miss being normal." Amber took her hand gently. "You are still you," she said firmly. "Being sick doesn't change that." Sofia nodded, but deep inside she felt different. She felt fragile, weak, and scared. That afternoon, Sofia tried to eat a little soup. She lifted the spoon slowly, her hand shaking. After just a few bites, she felt too tired to continue. "I can't," she whispered sadly. Queen Miranda didn't push her. "That's okay," she said gently. "Every small step matters." Later, Sofia became restless. She felt uncomfortable and uneasy, unable to find a position that didn't hurt. Her thoughts began to wander to dark places. "What if I never get better?" she thought. The idea made her heart race. Her breathing became quick, and tears rolled down her cheeks. Queen Miranda noticed immediately. She sat beside her and held her close. "Look at me, Sofia," she said firmly but gently. "You will get better. The doctor is watching carefully. We are all here." Sofia took deep breaths, holding on to her mother's words like a lifeline. That evening, Sofia felt more tired than ever. Her fever made her drift in and out of sleep. In her dreams, she saw herself running freely through the garden, laughing with Clover and Amber. But then her legs felt heavy again, and she couldn't move. She cried in her sleep, and the sound broke Queen Miranda's heart. Clover stayed close all night, refusing to leave her side. "You can rest," he whispered. "I'll stay awake for you." Sofia opened one eye and gave him a weak smile. "Thank you," she said softly. As night deepened, the castle remained quiet. Everyone moved softly, careful not to disturb Sofia. King Roland came in and silently stood near the bed. He watched his daughter sleep, his face filled with worry and love. This was a side of strength Sofia had never seen before. The strength of waiting, of caring, of hoping. When Sofia woke up again, it was very late. The room was dark except for a small lamp. Her body still felt weak, but there was a tiny change. Her head hurt a little less. She took a slow breath and realized it didn't hurt as much as before. It was a small difference, but it felt important. "Mama," she whispered. Queen Miranda leaned closer. "Yes, my love?" Sofia paused. I feel a little better," she said uncertainly. Queen Miranda smiled, though her eyes filled with tears. "That's wonderful," she said softly. "It's a small step, but it matters." The doctor checked her again later that night. He nodded slowly. "There is a very slight improvement," he said. "We must continue carefully." Sofia felt a tiny spark of hope warm her heart. Even though the sickness was still there, Sofia realized something important. She was not fighting alone. Every gentle word, every glass of water, every caring touch gave her strength. She closed her eyes again, holding on to hope. Her journey through typhoid was far from over, but for the first time in days, Sofia felt a quiet belief growing inside her. Maybe, slowly she was finding her way back. The next few days were quieter, but they felt different from before. Sofia was still very weak, but something small had changed inside her body. When she woke up in the morning, the heavy pain in her head was not as strong as it had been. Her body still felt tired, but it no longer felt like it was fighting her at every moment. Queen Miranda noticed the change right away. She smiled softly as she helped Sofia sit up a little with extra pillows. "You look a tiny bit brighter today," she said gently. Sofia took a slow breath. "I still feel bad," she answered honestly, "but not as bad as before." Saying those words made her feel hopeful, even though she was careful not to expect too much. The doctor came in later and checked Sofia carefully, just like every day. He looked pleased but calm. "The fever is slowly coming down," he said. "This is a good sign, but she must continue resting." Sofia listened closely. The word "good" stayed in her mind. It felt like a small light in a long, dark hallway. Even with this small improvement, Sofia's days were still hard. She got tired very easily. Just sitting up for a few minutes made her feel weak. Some days she felt better in the morning but worse by evening. It confused her, and sometimes it made her feel sad again. "Why does it keep going up and down?" she asked Queen Miranda one afternoon. Queen Miranda brushed her hair gently. "Healing is not always straight," she said softly. "Some days are better, some are harder. What matters is that you are moving forward." Sofia nodded, trying to understand. She held on to those words when the pain returned. Amber visited often, but this time she brought small things to lift Sofia's mood. One day she brought flowers from the garden. Another day she brought Sofia's favorite soft blanket. "The castle still needs its princess," Amber said with a small, teasing smile. Sofia smiled back, weak but real. It felt good to smile again. Clover talked to Sofia whenever she was awake. He told her funny stories and reminded her of the things they would do once she got better. "First thing, we're going to the garden," he said proudly. "Second thing, we're going to eat apple cakes." Sofia laughed quietly. Laughing made her tired, but it also made her feel alive. One afternoon, Sofia felt strong enough to sit near the window for a few minutes. The sunlight touched her face gently, and she watched birds fly across the sky. Tears filled her eyes, but this time they were not from fear. "I didn't think I would miss this so much," she whispered. Queen Miranda stood beside her quietly, letting her feel the moment. That night, Sofia slept more deeply than she had in many days. When she woke up, she felt calmer. Her body still felt weak, but her heart felt lighter. She realized that something important had changed inside her. She was no longer only scared. She was learning patience. Still, there were moments when fear returned. One evening, after feeling tired and shaky, Sofia started crying quietly. "What if it comes back?" she asked softly. "What if I get worse again?" Queen Miranda held her tightly. "Whatever happens, we face it together," she said. "You are not alone, and you never will be." The doctor continued the medicines and reminded everyone to be careful with food and water. Sophia listened seriously. She wanted to get better more than anything. She drank water slowly, ate small meals, and rested even when she wanted to move. It was not easy for her, but she tried her best. Each small improvement felt like a victory. One morning she was able to sit up on her own. Another day she managed to eat a full bowl of soup. Everyone cheered quietly, not wanting to make her tired. Sophia smiled shyly, feeling proud but careful. As days passed, the fever did not return as strongly. Her body still needed time, but the sickness was losing its power. Sophia noticed she could think more clearly. The strange dreams stopped, and her thoughts felt calmer. One evening, Sophia looked at Queen Miranda and said softly, "I didn't know being sick could teach me so much." Queen Miranda smiled. "What did it teach you?" she asked. Sophia thought for a moment. "That it's okay to be weak," she said slowly. "And that asking for help is not bad." Queen Miranda's eyes filled with tears, but she smiled. "That is a very important lesson," she said. As Sophia lay back down to rest, she felt tired, but it was a gentle tiredness, not the painful one from before. She knew she was not fully better yet. Her body still needed care, and her journey was not finished. But hope was no longer small and distant. It was growing stronger inside her, day by day. Sophia slowly opened her eyes to the gentle light of morning filtering through the castle window. She felt weak, her head still spinning slightly, but something felt different. Today, she didn't feel the sharp ache she had felt all week. Her chest was lighter, and she could breathe a little easier. She blinked, trying to sit up, and noticed Amber and Clover sitting beside her bed, smiling warmly. "Good morning, Sophia," Amber whispered softly. "You're looking much better today." Clover nodded eagerly. "Yes, you're finally getting stronger." Sophia managed a small smile, a little hesitant at first. It felt strange to have strength again after so many days of fever and weakness. Her parents, Queen Miranda and King Roland, entered the room quietly, holding a tray of warm soup and fresh fruits. "How are you feeling, Princess?" her mother asked gently. Sophia took a deep breath and whispered, "Better, much better." She tried to sit up fully, and Amber helped support her while Clover hopped close to comfort her. The warmth of her family and friends' presence filled her heart. The days of being stuck in bed, feeling too weak to play or even move around much, now felt like a distant memory. Sophia realized that she had overcome something very serious. Typhoid had tested her, but with care and love, she was finally feeling like herself again. Bailiwick entered with a gentle smile, holding a few colorful blankets. "Princess Sophia," he said softly, "we've kept your room cozy all week, and now it seems the princess is ready to enjoy a proper morning in her garden." Sophia's eyes sparkled at the thought. She had missed playing in the garden, chasing butterflies, and watching the birds flutter around. Clover hopped onto the bed excitedly. "We can finally go outside. It's going to be so much fun." Sophia laughed softly, feeling the energy returning to her little body. Amber helped her wash her hands and get ready for the day, and soon Sophia felt light and cheerful again. Sophia's first steps outside were tentative, but the soft grass beneath her feet felt wonderful. The sun shone warmly on her face, and the flowers in the garden seemed to smile at her. Birds chirped happily, and butterflies danced in the air. Sophia took a deep breath, feeling as though she had never noticed the beauty of the garden before. Her illness had kept her inside, unable to appreciate such simple joys. Now, she felt a renewed sense of happiness. She laughed softly as Clover chased a butterfly and Amber twirled under the sunlight. Sophia felt that life had returned to her, full of colors, sounds, and warmth. As the morning progressed, Sophia and her friends played gently, careful not to overexert her still recovering body. She threw soft balls to Clover, watched Amber practice her spins and twirls, and laughed as the butterflies fluttered around them. Sophia felt a deep sense of gratitude for her health, her family, and her friends. Being sick with typhoid had been frightening, but it had also shown her how much love and care surrounded her. Every gentle touch, every soft word from her parents, Amber, Clover, and Bailiwick had helped her heal. She understood now that recovery was not just about medicine. It was also about love, support, and patience. Later, Sofia's mother brought her a notebook and some colored pencils. "Why don't you draw something to celebrate your recovery, Sofia?" she suggested. Sofia's eyes lit up. She had missed drawing while she had been sick, too tired and dizzy to focus. Now, she picked up a pencil and began sketching the garden. The flowers, the butterflies, Clover hopping around, and Amber twirling. She added herself in the middle, smiling and healthy. With each stroke, Sofia felt stronger, more alive, and more confident. Her illness had tested her courage, but now she felt proud of herself for making it through. As the day went on, Sofia reflected on the week she had spent in bed. She remembered the chills, the high fever, the weakness, and the quiet moments of fear and worry. But she also remembered the kindness of everyone around her, the way Amber held her hand when she felt dizzy, how Clover stayed close, and how her parents and Bailiwick tended to her every need. She realized that even in her weakest moments, she had never been alone. Love had carried her through, and now it had blossomed into gratitude and strength. Sofia felt a deep sense of maturity, understanding that illness was difficult, but the support of loved ones made it manageable. In the afternoon, Sofia decided to prepare a small surprise for everyone who had cared for her. She gathered flowers from the garden and carefully made little bouquets. She handed them to Amber, Clover, Bailiwick, and her parents. "Thank you for taking care of me," she said softly, her voice full of emotion. Amber hugged her tightly. "We're proud of you, Sofia. You were so brave." Clover hopped excitedly around her. "And now you're all better. Let's play more." Queen Miranda smiled warmly. "Sofia, you've learned something very important. Courage, patience, and love help us overcome even the hardest challenges." Sofia nodded, understanding the truth of her mother's words. As evening approached, Sofia sat on the garden bench with her family and friends, watching the sunset. The sky glowed with orange, pink, and purple hues. She felt a quiet peace in her heart. Typhoid had been scary and painful, but it had also taught her resilience, the importance of caring for her body, and the value of love and support. She realized that challenges could make life brighter in the end because they showed her what truly mattered: friends, family, kindness, and patience. Sofia felt ready to face anything, knowing that love and care could help her through even the hardest times. Before going to bed, Sofia whispered softly to herself, "Thank you for helping me heal. I feel strong again. I love everyone who stayed with me." She hugged a soft pillow and smiled, thinking about the day ahead, filled with play, laughter, and health. Amber and Clover whispered goodnight, and her parents kissed her forehead, reminding her to rest well. Sofia closed her eyes, feeling happy, safe, and loved. She understood that even though she had been sick, she had grown stronger and braver, and that life was full of beautiful moments waiting for her to enjoy. The next morning, Sofia woke up feeling completely healthy and full of energy. She ran to the garden, laughed with Amber and Clover, and played freely under the warm sunlight. The days of illness were behind her, but the lessons she had learned would stay in her heart forever. Sofia knew that she could face challenges with courage, love, and patience, and that every moment of care she had received was a reminder of the importance of kindness and support. She smiled brightly, ready to embrace life and enjoy every joyful moment, feeling stronger, happier, and more grateful than ever before.